Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is going to be my video for Lab 2.5 for the GMOs. The radical environment groups such as Greenpeace and the Earth Liberation Front are both opposed to GMOs, and they want them to be completely banned, even though we don't know exactly how GMOs affect people. The industrial scale farmers like GMOs because they are cheaper and we don't have to use a lot of pesticides. So this way they get more product out for a cheaper cost to them using more GMOs instead of pesticides. It also protects crops and helps them live longer and not die. They also have a lot of success, and we know that without them, we wouldn't have any food to eat. So in that way, it's kind of a bonus for the consumers because without these GMOs, we won't have as much food or the bigger product. Organic farmers want everything to be natural, of course, so they only use a pesticide called BT, and they are against GMOs and don't have a lot of success because organic crops aren't as in demand, so to speak. Like, people do buy organic crops because they're against GMOs or they can only eat organic or whatever, but in that way they are still more expensive. The biotech companies such as Avency are for GMOs because they think, lost my spot, hold on. They think it will save the environment, so it'll be a plus for the environment also. At first, they didn't use biotech, but now they have to keep up with the demands and keep up with where everybody is in GMOs and whatnot, and they think GMOs will help the environment, so they're going to use them. Federal agencies like USDA, FDA, and EPA aren't against GMOs because they have lots of testing methods that they can use. They want to provide safe foods for people to eat and to have, they can have either success or failure, because if the FDA or any of them say no more GMOs, then people have to stop using them immediately. If they say they're okay, then everybody can use them. And we have lots of trust and faith in these agencies because they do have all those testing methods that show evidence of if they are harmful to us or if they aren't. And then the retail food companies like the grocery stores and all that didn't want to participate in any of the videos and don't have a stance on either for or against GMOs because all they care about basically is money. So if the GMOs make them more money, then they're going to use them. If they don't, then they won't. So it doesn't really matter to them either way. And then the American consumers are angry because most of them don't know what they're eating. So obviously that would make anybody upset, because if you don't know what you're putting into your body, you don't know if it's good or bad for you. And they don't want to eat them, obviously. They don't know how GMOs will affect their bodies or their family or children or whoever. And they won't know because there's no labels on the food. So how are you going to know if anything's bad? If you don't see a label, you're not going to know. And they also don't have a stake in GMOs because they're just the consumers. My pros and cons of GMO foods are, my pros are they use less pesticides, they're safer for our environment, and it makes food cheaper for us. So that's obviously a good thing. The three cons that I have are that the GMOs can cause allergies and allergic reactions for people that don't know they're in their foods and they eat them. They're going to get really sick or have a really bad allergic reaction they're not going to know they're going to have because the food isn't labeled. Then that's the second one I have, is that the foods aren't labeled, so we'll never know what we're getting in our foods and what we're putting into our own bodies. And the last thing is safety problems. So basically, my view on GMOs is that I think they should definitely be labeled. We all have the right to know what we're eating and what we're putting into our bodies and if it's harmful or not. I will probably continue to eat the foods because there's no evidence of them being harmful. And if there is evidence that would come out later, or if anyone finds out that they're really bad for me, then I'll stop eating them. But so far, I don't see anything wrong with them because there's no evidence, and I probably already have lots of it in my fridge already. So thank you. That's it.